Blake Lively has been handed her first big loss in her lawsuit against Justin Baldoni, and frankly, it is entirely her own fault, or more precisely, the fault of her legal team. They were asking for too much here.
So guys, the judge has denied Blake Lively of getting 2.5 years worth of phone records from Justin Baldoni.
I love Lily. I love that she sees the best in people, the things that people may have cast aside, or like a flower shop on the corner that nobody sees the potential in, or a boy across the street who everyone makes fun of. She sees you and she sees your value and she uplifts you to your highest self.
Blake Lively, known for A Simple Favor and The Age of Adeline, recently faced a legal setback in her dispute with co-star and director Justin Baldoni. A federal judge in Manhattan denied her broad subpoena for Baldoni's phone records, calling it overly intrusive and disproportionate. The ruling limits Lively's access to Baldoni's communications in the ongoing legal battle between the two.
Overreaching, and frankly, it was a shocking amount of overreach. I called it out in our last video, and it wasn't even all that close. For those of you who aren't following the case yet, Justin Baldoni founded Wayfarer Studios with billionaire Steve Sarowitz, and Wayfarer bought the rights to the movie rights to a book called It Ends With Us. Now, Baldoni was a director, and he also played the lead role opposite co-star Blake Lively. Now, Blake Lively says that while they were on the set, starring together in this movie, that he SH'd her. She says when she complained, he then set out to retaliate against her by orchestrating a smear campaign designed to destroy her reputation.
Could you imagine this girl? In her court case, she asked for 2.5 years of phone records, receipts of his, and the judge said no, that is way too disproportionate, and it's also very disturbing. It's unfair, and he told her no, you can't have that. Listen, if she has her claims and she's the one that started this whole entire lawsuit, this whole entire grievance thing, then she should have already had her proof. Blake, I can understand that the judge is choosing no on this.
The ruling is part of a complex legal battle between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, involving allegations of misconduct, defamation, and retaliatory smear campaigns. The high-profile case has drawn significant media attention, with both sides preparing for a trial scheduled for March 2026.
Developments to share with you in the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni legal feud. A federal judge has set a trial date for those two of March 9th, 2026. This will be when the actors can finally resolve their claims over what happened during filming of the movie It Ends With Us. The judge also ordered a conference next week after Lively's lawyers said that Baldoni's lawyers tried to wreck her career. Baldoni's attorneys say that Lively has launched a smear campaign against him. Lively sued Baldoni back in December for harassment, and then Baldoni sued her, sued the New York Times this past month, accusing them of publishing false claims that made by Lively and her husband Ryan Reynolds that they say are defamatory, and also they're claiming extortion here as well. Wow, this is a big mess, and now the judge has it on the calendar.
Media critics report that Blake Lively's legal team has subpoenaed phone records from Justin Baldoni and his associates, seeking evidence of a smear campaign against her. They have also requested access to Baldoni's phone, along with devices, from 5 or 6 other individuals linked to the case, as part of their broader legal strategy.
Blake Lively's team had asked to subpoena Justin Baldoni's phone, meaning, and not only Justin Baldoni, the entire team that they had sued, meaning like 5 or 6 people, and they want not only to look at text messages in regards to the case, but in regards to everything.
And they want to go back 2.5 years.
Yes, with their internet browser history, so they can see whatever they Googled. I mean, if they do that to anyone's phone, you're going to find stuff that are suspicious, don't you think? I mean, you Google many weird things. I think for them to ask to have access to Justin Baldoni's text to his wife, I mean, isn't that outrageous?
It sounds like an overreach, if you ask me.
Yeah, or like Justin Baldoni's lawyer called it, a fishing expedition, which is a word he used on purpose, I think, because that's a word that judges don't really like. And this is, like he also pointed out, this is not a criminal case, and Blake is not the FBI. This is a civil case, so I think asking for this, do you think they're going to get it through from the judge?
Not altogether, but you know, it is you can do it in defamation cases, though.
Yeah, but I think limited in defamation.
Lively's legal team sought access not only to lawsuit-related text messages, but also to all personal messages, internet searches, and browser history from the past 2.5 years. The broad request aimed to uncover potential evidence of a smear campaign in the ongoing legal battle.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, my besties. Do you think that Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively had anything to do with it?
This is what Justin Baldoni's team is saying, right? They're saying that Ryan Reynolds pressured WME to fire Baldoni.
Yeah.
And of course, that has been denied by WME. But why then did they fire Baldoni? There are more quotes though out there, and he's saying that I am the man that did it. What did he say? I'm a ride or die guy.
Yeah.
So he takes credit for firing him, and then he's making fun of his last name by calling him Bologna or something like that.
Yeah, Baloney.
Baloney, and then he corrects himself and says Baldoni.
Whatever his name is.
Yeah. And that's someone they represented for more than 5.
The request covers call logs, text messages, internet search histories, and browser data, extending beyond Justin Baldoni to several associates. Lively's legal team seeks evidence of a coordinated smear campaign against her, arguing that the Iowa subpoenas could reveal critical information supporting her claims in the ongoing legal dispute.
Saturday, the tea is flowing in the Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively case involving Taylor Swift and Brian Friedman and all the characters that are involved. And the cross-fighting here in the legal documents is absolutely insane. Justin responds to subpoena, say, hey, this is a massive fishing expedition. It goes back and forth, and that's where we land on the actual documents that we're about to share with you. Umbrella Guy, friend of the program, says Blake Lively wants 2.5 years of Justin Baldoni, calls, texts, real-time location. Watch. It's all because she's attempting further character assassination since her Me Too claims didn't end him. Now, as we know, she claims he harassed her, SH, right? And that's really the big story. But she's also going to claim that he was part of a smear campaign. He's going to argue that was in retaliation. We were just planning a retaliation if you were going to come after.
The controversy began during the production of It Ends With Us, the film adaptation of Colleen Hoover's novel, where Blake Lively starred opposite Justin Baldoni, who also directed. Released in August 2024, the film received mixed reviews but proved a box office success, grossing $351 million worldwide against its $25 million budget. The legal dispute between Lively and Baldoni emerged following the movie's production.
I've been doing this for, 20 years now, and it's one of those films that you really feel how special it is. That speaks to Colleen's work, with the source material that we had a book that there was a story and emotional journey that resonated with so many people. So it was our responsibility not to screw it up. Yeah, it was just such a beautiful experience, and I couldn't be.
Behind the scenes, tensions escalated, leading Blake Lively to file a lawsuit in December 2024 against Justin Baldoni and his production company, Wayfarer Studios. She accused them of misconduct and intimidation, alleging that Baldoni's on-set behavior created a hostile work environment and that he launched a smear campaign against her after she voiced her concerns.
Times article came out, basically this whole smear campaign against him and lifting Lively. He lost an award he had just earned from for fighting for women's rights.
Right.
He lost an award. He lost his agent because was represented by William Morris and was dropped by his agency. Also represented Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. He lost his podcast. His podcast co-host left, saying that, she wasn't going to condone it, and lost movie deals and all kinds of stuff. So he lost
canceled.
revenue.
He got canceled.
Baldoni got canceled.
He lost all the.
The case took a dramatic turn when Justin Baldoni countersued Blake Lively and her husband, Ryan Reynolds, for $400 million. However, the biggest shock came when Baldoni unexpectedly dragged Taylor Swift into the legal battle, leaving fans stunned by the unfolding controversy.
Justin Baldoni is now involving Taylor Swift in his lawsuit against Blake Lively. So Justin Baldoni is suing Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and their publicists for over $400 million for all the It Ends With Us drama. Now he's name-dropping Taylor Swift, Blake's bestie, in the mix. Thankfully, Taylor Swift is not being sued, but she's mentioned in his 179-page paper complaint. And he's alleging that Taylor's fame was used to pressure him during production. And it really all stems from this penthouse situation where Blake and Ryan live. Apparently, there was a meeting there with all of them, and Taylor Swift was actually present. And Blake ended up rewriting one of the scenes. And even after the meeting was over, Baldoni texted Blake this, saying, "I gotta put my glasses on for this one. The font is too small." Also was working on the rooftop scene today. Really love what you did. Makes it so much more fun and interesting, and I would have felt the same way without Ryan and Taylor.
This was a sinister PR move. Blake Lively then moved 11 days later to file a lawsuit. So now she has filed a lawsuit, and I don't think she ever wanted to do this. I think she genuinely wanted this to be a PR move, and she wanted to leak it to the New York Times. She thought the public would take her side with no questions asked, and instead the public is saying, no, we have a few questions here. And Justin Baldoni is going all the way to the wall on this. His lawyer is already giving interviews explaining just how nasty her team has played this. The lawyer's name is Brian Friedman. He stopped by the Megyn Kelly show, and here's some of the things that he had to say. First, he says there used to never be a claim. There never was a claim until she went to that civil rights office. Take a listen.
There was actually no allegation of sexual harassment until the lawsuit.
Court documents reveal that Baldoni alleged Lively used Taylor Swift to apply pressure during a heated meeting with Ryan Reynolds over script edits for a rooftop scene. Baldoni claims Swift's involvement influenced the discussion, adding another layer to the ongoing legal battle.
Talking all things Blake Lively and her legal complaint that she's filed against her It Ends With Us co-star Justin Baldoni. Yes, the It Ends With Us movie drama does in fact not end. What's interesting about this story to me is the Justin Baldoni of it all. He is a self-proclaimed male feminist. He's woke. He speaks out against sexual assault and sexual harassment, even toxic masculinity. And now in this legal complaint filed by Blake Lively, he's being accused of sexual harassment.
I challenge you to see if you can use the same qualities that you feel make you a man to go deeper into yourself. And will you be man enough to stand up to other men when you hear locker room talk, when you hear stories of sexual harassment, when you hear your boys talking about grabbing ass or getting her drunk? Will you actually stand up and do something so that one day we don't have to live in a world where a woman has to risk everything and come forward to say the words "me too"?
This is gonna be really awkward if these allegations are true. I will say, just for the record, I'm not a fan of either of these individuals, and something about both of them rubs me the wrong way.
Followed by an attempted PR takedown of her to cover his own ass from people finding out what he did to her. In an article titled "We Can Bury Anyone," Blake Lively heroically shared her story, and the world was on her side because it looked like she was just trying to take down a predator in Hollywood. So Justin Baldoni and his ace lawyer launched an all-cylinder fire attack to clear his name, and he started by suing the New York Times, saying that article was just published because it was paid for by Ryan Reynolds, and it was a multi-layered scheme planned out by Blake and Ryan to take down Justin. And I think it's pretty common knowledge that the mainstream media will lie on behalf of their powerful friends or anyone who pays them off to say so.
Court documents reveal that Baldoni alleged Lively used Taylor Swift to apply pressure during a heated meeting with Ryan Reynolds over script edits for a rooftop scene. Baldoni claims Swift's involvement influenced the discussion, adding another layer to the ongoing legal battle.
So as Justin sees it, as Blake was busy trying to strong-arm and take over every part of his movie, she, out of the blue, rewrote a part of the script and then gave it to Justin for him to see if he liked it and if they could put it in the movie. But she's not the writer on the movie. And then Blake told him that he should come over to her and Ryan Reynolds' penthouse and talk about that part of the script that she wrote. But when he arrived, to his surprise, her best friend Taylor Swift was there, imploring him to use Blake's script, saying it is the single best thing she's ever read in her fucking life. And keep in mind, this is all about career advancement for Blake Lively, and Taylor Swift has been one of the people supporting her in doing that and will be pretty ruthless to keep her friends succeeding. She even let Blake Lively direct her first project ever, which was a Taylor Swift music video.
Blake Lively did not even read the book that the movie was based on.
Correct.
And we're not talking War and Peace. And then she wanted to, ixnayed all of the wardrobe choices, because when you're making a movie about a poor woman who's suffering from domestic violence, you want her to look like she has money.
Right.
That Blake said.
That's what she did.
She looks like she has money. Yep. And she's dressing in florals. And then she's going on this press tour, pushing her liquor line and her hair care line, because that's what women who are trying to escape with their lives are worried about.
That's what generated her negative press and led to a series of clips of her being insensitive in one way, shape, or form with other interviewers in the past. She has no one to blame but her.
Blake Lively faces criticism for allegedly using the It Ends With Us premiere and promotional events to promote her own brands and products. Critics argue she prioritized personal business interests over the film's focus, blurring the lines between her acting career and entrepreneurial ventures, sparking debate over her promotional tactics.
Evidence of Blake being cringe and being rude. Blake did those things. And Blake did use the film as a moment to launch a hair care business.
Right.
And promoting her alcohol brand, Betty Buzz, it's just not a good look when you're promoting also a film about domestic violence. Well, I think too, it was just a lot of all about Blake, all about how this is how I styled it. This is my hair care line, my Betty Buzz, whatever. It was just a lot about her and how this was her vision. And I think people felt like it didn't land.
The film adaptation of Colleen Hoover's It Ends With Us faced heavy criticism for its costume design, particularly the wardrobe choices for Blake Lively's character, Lily Bloom. Fans and critics argued that the eclectic, whimsical outfits, such as sequined gowns and patchwork pants, clashed with the story's serious themes of domestic abuse. Many felt these bold fashion choices distracted from the narrative, potentially undermining the film's emotional impact and authenticity.
In It Ends With Us, the costume design for Lily Bloom, played by Blake Lively, fails spectacularly in conveying the essence of the character and the overall narrative, with many viewers expressing confusion about its messaging and its distracting nature. What's interesting is that in the book, Colleen Hoover actually refers very little to Lily Bloom's style and the clothes that she wears. She doesn't describe how Lily likes to dress, what her kind of style is, or even if she has a signature piece of clothing that she often reaches for or she's known for wearing. This only illustrates Colleen's desire to leave the sensitive nature of the book and of Lily's story at the forefront of.
The film adaptation of Colleen Hoover's It Ends With Us faced heavy criticism for its costume design, particularly the wardrobe choices for Blake Lively's character, Lily Bloom. Fans and critics argued that the eclectic, whimsical outfits, such as sequined gowns and patchwork pants, clashed with the story's serious themes of domestic abuse. Many felt these bold fashion choices distracted from the narrative, potentially undermining the film's emotional impact and authenticity.
Another reason why Blake Lively's disastrous attempt at costume design failed miserably for It Ends With Us is because in all of the scenes, she wore crispy, brand spanking new shoes. Let me show you. In this scene, when Lily Bloom is apparently playing with her daughter in the park, why on earth is she at the park, first of all, in high heels? That's first. Second, in brand new boots. There's not one scuff on these red boots. In what alternate universe does a mom play with her daughter in the park in brand new heels? This is so unrealistic, it's not even funny. I'm gonna tell you what we do as costume designers to make this scene look more realistic. Again, look at how clean these boots are. She's supposed to be a florist. You would assume she's walking through dirty floors, she's on her feet all day. Your shoes would be dirty. You wouldn't have on heels, that's first and foremost, but your shoes would also be dirty.
Blake Lively played a key role in shaping the costume design for her character, Lily Bloom, in the film adaptation of It Ends With Us. Collaborating closely with costume designer Eric Damon, she infused her personal fashion sensibilities into Lily's wardrobe. Lively even contributed pieces from her own collection, including her treasured Lorraine Schwartz jewelry, to create an authentic and personalized style for her character.
For me, what was really important for the character was that you understood she was like a walking, talking contradiction, but also she could be all things at once. She could be both strong and vulnerable. She could be both masculine and feminine. She could be artistic and overly expressive and fashion and fabulous, but she could also be like very grounded in utility. Wardrobe is always the way that I enter a character. I'm a very shy person, so if I look a certain way, then I can escape into that. Like even stuff today, I don't dress like this in real life, but like I'm having to like do interviews and talk, so I'm gonna wear like a crazy pattern and really crazy rings. Rings also are like my comfort blanket. It's just a very expensive comfort blanket. I should like Snuggies instead as a comfort blanket. Instead I like Lorraine Schwartz, which is a problem.
There seems to be a theme among many movies that have a quirky or different character, and in order to convey that, they feel the need to style them in such an extreme, over-the-top way. Sometimes it actually works, but many times it just comes off as extremely unrealistic. It Ends With Us is a perfect example of this. Fashion is a tool of self-expression. It is used to express what's on the inside, on the outside. So in a way, our clothes are almost like a second skin. They make sense, they feel right, they look right. And when looking at these outfits, they don't look like a second skin. But something that also just doesn't work is the fact that they seem so unrealistic, and it makes them and the character unbelievable. You're not going to see people walking around in outfits like this all the time. It also could just be a casting issue. These outfits might look fantastic on someone else, but on Blake Lively, it doesn't look like Lily Bloom. It looks like Blake Lively dressed in unflattering clothes that don't match her personality. However, many fans of the book are saying that these outfits just don't match Lily's character.
Blake Lively's extensive involvement in costume decisions reportedly caused major budget concerns. Co-star and director Justin Baldoni alleged that her wardrobe demands inflated costs by $430,000, skyrocketing from the original $185,000 to $615,000. Baldoni claimed Lively insisted on reshooting scenes to showcase high-end fashion pieces, which conflicted with Lily Bloom's portrayal as a small business owner, further fueling tensions behind the scenes of It Ends With Us.
Blake Lively made a massive mistake when she attempted to take over the role as costume designer for Lily Bloom for It Ends With Us. Aside from the wardrobe just completely being wrong for the character, she forgot to build the character arc for Lily Bloom. What do I mean by character arc? The character arc is when you establish the character's emotions through different phases of their life. So Lily Bloom has 3 distinct phases: before Ryle, during Ryle, when the DV is occurring, after Ryle. But Lily's wardrobe was the same note throughout the film with no ups and downs and emotions, which is why the viewers never connected. So I'm going to show you what I would have done to establish the character arc. I'm also going to explain the importance of using color theory to tell a story through wardrobe. Here are the 10 mistakes Blake Lively made when trying to design her own character for Lily Bloom for It Ends With Us. And every time I think I'm done talking about this, I find something else. Okay, so here we go. And I'm just gonna run through the list, but for the full video, go to my YT page. Number 1, which should be so obvious, is that I don't think she read the book, allegedly. Because if she had read the book, she would know what Lily Bloom should wear in the movie, and it would have looked a whole lot better than what it did. Number 2 is not building a character arc. Now, I know she's not a costume designer, so she wouldn't know how to build a character arc, but what should have happened is there should have been a clear differentiation from the 3 acts and the 3 characters of Lily Bloom, and it should have been visible through the wardrobe. Number 3 is wearing all new clothes for the film. That's just not realistic. No one would do that. 4 is wearing high heels, especially to the park. 5 are those crazy double pants that she wore all the time. I don't know what was up with the double pants.
Blake Lively faces accusations of attempting to seize control of the project. Justin Baldoni's attorney, Brian Friedman, expressed astonishment, stating he has never witnessed such actions in his 30-year career. Friedman argues that Lively's efforts to dominate the film's production are both unprecedented and manipulative, further intensifying the ongoing legal battle between the 2 co-stars.
As the time progressed in this film, she decided that she wanted to be a producer. She started to make edits. She wanted to be part of the editing team. There were people hired, like human beings actually hired to do the editing job, who had done work as editors. She wanted to be part of that team. The next thing you know, she took over the editing. She started making threats that she wouldn't promote the movie, that she wanted to be in control of marketing of the movie, that she would do nothing in terms of promotion unless she was the actual.
Blake Lively faces accusations of attempting to seize control of the project. Justin Baldoni's attorney, Brian Friedman, expressed astonishment, stating he has never witnessed such actions in his 30-year career. Friedman argues that Lively's efforts to dominate the film's production are both unprecedented and manipulative, further intensifying the ongoing legal battle between the two co-stars.
So she filed an amended complaint that is 141 pages long. She added 48 pages to her initial complaint that she first filed back in December. The big bombshell here, according to Blake Lively, is that there were other women on the set who were also made to feel uncomfortable by Baldoni's alleged behavior. Blake Lively claims in this new updated complaint that another female co-star who is unnamed in this complaint, that she actually reported this behavior to Sony, which was the distributor behind this film. Now, I have reached out to Baldoni's team. We have not heard back, but you see there that they say that he did not hold himself accountable after this was reported, and instead that he used a louder voice, it goes on to say, to silence Blake Lively and anyone else who may have spoken.